So here it is, Nintendo's launch title of the Nintendo Switch 2, Mario Kart World, and after playing this on and off for roughly a week, I think I'm done until there's a major update. This £75 game that I luckily got bundled with the console is, in my opinion, the weakest launch game Nintendo has ever released, and had it not come with the console, I doubt I could justify the purchase. Now, admittedly, I've never been a massive Mario Kart fan. I hardly ever play racing games, but games like Forza Horizon have kept my interest in the genre the most. I own every Mario Kart game since its debut on the SNES, but it's always been a game that I casually play for a very short time and then never go back to. I didn't even play Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, having played it on the Wii U. So what are my issues with this game? I pretty much played 3 modes: the Grand Prix, online, and about 10 minutes of the open world. Now let's talk about that open world first. This was heavily advertised as the next big thing for Mario Kart. For me, I have very little interest in collecting 100% of items around a map in most games, but I've got even less in this one. There's these random P-switches dotted around the map to create some sort of challenge, but with nothing more than the purpose of completing them. I have no reason to do them. Unlockable outfits, carts, random character unlocks hold no interest to me, especially when I've already unlocked the fastest car. It's completing just for completionist's sake, and with such an amount of games to play, I have no time for this. I do find this strange because with the Forza Horizon games I felt compelled to do this and complete every race, but with this I just can't see a point. You come across these randomly, and with no way of tracking them on the map, I have no interest, and I don't want to try and find them all. So that was it. I felt like I pretty much had this mode figured out, and I've just got zero interest in it. So I quickly moved on to the Grand Prix mode. This is your classic 4 races in a cup. The 8 cups took me about 2 hours to complete and roll the credits, and I doubt that I'll ever go back to play these again. The tracks are just strange to me. Most of them are not a classic number of laps around a circuit, but a point A to point B broken into laps, with the final lap being one race around the circuit. There are moments of just long stretches that felt like they're only there to show off the details and draw distances of the game. After completing the 8 cups, that was it for this mode. There's no 200cc mode to unlock. There's only one hidden cup that you get to unlock that I also completed, and I've seen that there's a mirror mode which is linked to the open world mode, so I'll never unlock this. And that's it for this mode. 2 hours of questionable fun that I'll never go back to. And then there's the online mode. Now this is where the real nonsense begins. If you've been focusing on the footage in the background, it's pretty much me just getting dicked on the whole time. The game to me just doesn't feel like a racing game. It's more like a party game that you play with friends. Those clutch moments at the finish line are there to be laughed about and enjoyed, only until the next race begins. It's not a competitive racing game, where skill will always trump luck. Items play a massive part in this game, and the rubber banding is so egregious it makes every race feel far too evenly matched. Now playing in person with friends or even over the game chat mode will add to this, and make it even more fun, but without this interaction it's just frustrating and lacking. And let's talk about the items. This is the only Mario Kart I've played that feels like total nonsense. It's the only game where you hit someone with a red shell and they end up further ahead of you. You can be in the middle of the pack, hit once, and it sends you tumbling down to the back. Boost items on straight seem to have hardly any advantage and are only usually useful to cut corners over the slower terrain. And you are getting hit constantly. If it's not items from the track, it's people from behind, the side, above. Even the track itself seems to have it in for you. Items come out of nowhere. There's an indicator that shows you that something is behind you, but at times it's going off every few seconds. It's nigh on impossible to dodge these or counter the threats. Even with a ring of shells, somehow things get through. And that's it. Once you're hit, you're at the back, fighting to get back into the race. If you're in the middle of the pack, you'll be constantly bombarded. And what makes it worse is the further you are at the back, the better the items appear to get you back in the race. If you're in first, you have less of these, as second and third place won't get as many items that can take you out. But God help you if you're in 6th. Everything is coming for you. Red shells, stars, bullets, giant players ready to run you over. This makes every race just a battle for items and the hopes you can hold out till you get further up the pack. Skill will only give you the smallest margins of advantages. I've seen players full-blown rage quit after a last-minute blue shell. I don't feel compelled to practice this game as it's pointless and just don't find the whole experience very enjoyable, as I play mainly as a single-player game. For me, this game will need a major content update to bring me back. The rubber banding needs to be fixed and the items need to be more balanced. There's no story, no progression past the Grand Prix, and it gives me no real urge to really play it again. Now there is one saving grace for me, but it doesn't really play in the game's favour. This game does look and runs absolutely fantastic on the console. It runs at a 4K 60 FPS flawlessly. The details, the draw distances, the world all look absolutely fantastic, whether you're playing in 4K HDR TV or in handheld mode. It really makes me excited for what Nintendo can do with this console and the games that it will produce. Donkey Kong Bonanza is coming out next month, and it looks like the launch title that this should have been. Maybe it needed more time in development, but if this 3D platform is anything as good as this, I'm sure it'll be a massive hit. Who knows how far Nintendo will push this console in the future with its stellar lineup of first-party titles, but this is definitely a showcase of what's achievable. Maybe I just totally suck at this game, or maybe I just don't grasp exactly what this game is trying to be. I'm sure there are people out there that have an absolute blast with this game, but for me, I'm just going to park it for now and wait for the next major update, or just move on to the next big first-party game. Luckily, we only have to wait until July the 17th. So unfortunately for now, my Switch 2 is going to be gathering dust. Hopefully more games that I haven't played on the original Switch get the free update, but as for launch games, this was the only one that I was only ever going to buy. I already own Cyberpunk on the PC, I've played Bravely Default before, and there was no way Nintendo was going to openly mug me with that welcome tour. The 2 Zelda remasters will be something to try, but having already completed both of these will be more like a tech demo than a new experience. Had I not managed to pre-order the Switch 2 for launch, I won't be rushing out to get one, so don't feel bad if you didn't manage to get one for pre-order or haven't managed to pick one up yet. I'm sure Nintendo will support this console with some unmissable gems, but for now, the lineup is looking far too slim to warrant. There you have it. These are my views on Mario Kart World. For me, not the launch title I would have hoped for, but things are promising for this console. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, give it a thumbs down if you didn't, and if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.